I get asked occasionally, sometimes sarcastically, if I really do live this way, if this is the way that I really think. And I have to answer yes now. It wasn't so, starting off in this life. And I've been through an awful lot of trials and tribulations throughout the years. But this is the way of life that I've come to experience. This is just it. I enjoy being absolutely free. We talk about freedom in America and stuff, and it's like, I know we're not free. We got laws and all kinds of crazy crap going on. So we're not really free. I mean, none of us really are we? Think about that for a minute. And but I think that I'm pretty free. I live in an RV and I just travel around, and I like to do little random acts of kindness, and generally make people's day. I like being that guy who just kind of shows up out of nowhere and brightens up a life and moves on. Works for me. I enjoy that. It's how my life led me. And so these things that I share, it comes from hard won experience dealing with people, dealing with myself. And I found that if I always act like I am a gracious guest, an appreciative person, that you are sharing your existence with me, just as I'm making you that important to myself. Yeah, I'm really hammering that one home tonight, aren't I? But sorry, there was a noise outside, and it was like, wow, that was interesting. So yeah, I found that you have a few moments in a body, right? We only do. It's not. I mean, if we're looking, excuse me, thinking geological time, universal time, whatever, however you want to put that, we have a couple of instance with the nervous system. That's it, as far as we know. I mean, any religion could be correct. No religion could be correct. We don't know. We'll find out when we get there. So, anything that happens, whether it's pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, whether it's convenient or inconvenient, it really doesn't matter. If it happens, the instant that it happens, that's reality. It's what is. Like it, don't like it, who cares? That's what happened. That's what is. And when I just said like it, unlike or don't like it, well, that's a choice you got. Who taught you how to have your own perspective of life? Did somebody shove that down your throat for you to become you? As you think of you? You look out at the world, and the world's a crappy place, so you make a lot of complaints. Well, your complaints creates the crappy world, because that's what you're looking for. That's what you're turning your attention to. My own world is pretty darn nice. I'm surrounded by beautiful people wherever I go. Everybody seems to want to help. Everybody's kind. Nobody yells at me. Even the cops are nice. That's what I look for in people. That's what I offer them. I'm going to be a gracious guest. I'm going to be appreciative of each moment that is directed in my vicinity, directed towards me. If I catch a glimpse of you in a crowd, if we meet eyes for a moment, I want to be that guy that just by meeting your eyes, you know you've been seen. I may not know the details of what's been going on in your life, but I guarantee you got some stuff going on. I see the struggles. I see the successes. I've experienced them myself, some of them. One of the things that I found by becoming this individual who does this is that it's a choice. It's a role that I play. It's a social role. But for some reason or another, people respond to that. I guess it's an energy thing or whatever. But it's a choice. And it's a choice that I just keep making. And it's just very similar to being married, I guess. I've not been married, but I've been told that when you get married, you make that decision to marry every moment from that point forward. Well, same thing's true with, can you be a gracious guest in everybody's life? Don't hold things that somebody did in the past against them unless it is violent or something like that. Just because you're doing this doesn't mean you gotta hang out with just anybody. If it's dangerous, don't go there. Duh. But don't expect it either. Look for the good. All kinds. Anyway, so yeah, it's a choice that you just keep making. And what happens is that the response that you get when you keep making this choice, that I have this game that I play, and anytime I leave my RV, I set the intention to get 5 people to spontaneous strangers. 5. Well, actually, it doesn't have to be a stranger, but they can't know of this for it to count. But and here I am putting it on YouTube. Oh well. Yeah, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm a balloon twister, and I'm a street performer. I've been doing those roles for years, most of my life. I play with children for a living, and it's like you can't get better than that, You just really can't. I can't think of anything better than playing with kids anytime I go out. Almost every single pair of pants that I own, if I've had them for a little while, my right knee the cloth is worn through and I have a hole there or something. And it's on its way to doing that, because I rarely talk to children while standing up. I'll always kneel down, and it's real hard for me to let kids go by me without making them a balloon. It's just so fun to play with them, and the parents, it's joy. It's really a joyous life, Anyway, so where was I going? Oh, it's a choice. Yeah. So I just keep making the choice that, yeah, I'm going to see if I can make five people every day. Every time I go out, can I get 5 people to say you've made my day? How about you? Can you get 5? Can you get 2? Can you get 1? Can you set the intention to get 1 person to say that? Start there. One of the cool things, and if you got a skill, like caricaturist or, blow bubbles with your nose or whatever, Um, if it's something that's cheery and people are going to be amused and entertained and their day is going to be a little bit better, go ahead, give it a shot, see what happens. It's a blast. It really is. You get, I love going as I'm going through a line at a grocery store or something now, as I come up, a typical interaction will be something like, the woman or man behind the counter, most often a woman, but she'll be behind the counter and she's been, people are just doing their thing. And so she's not really engaged. She's doing her bagging and all that. And I'll say something like, "Wow, aren't you spectacular?" And they go, "Huh?" I'll say, "You're just amazing. Look at you. How'd you get to be you? Wow, how cool is that? It's wonderful to meet you." Some of them will cry. It's great. It's really fun. And it's and I mean that, how'd you get to be you? How did you get to be you? Really? I mean, here you are, you show up in a body, you become aware of things, somebody grabs your attention, says they're your parents, and teaches you a bunch of nonsense and a couple of nice, useful things that you'll find out later. And other than that, you forget most of it, and somehow or another, you wind up being you. How'd you do that? Ain't that a heck of a journey? I've been paying attention to this crap for myself, my own line of progression as I go along for quite some time, and it's really very entertaining. It's really amusing to watch it all unfold. It's yeah, it's definitely an interesting show. I hope you can at some point have the opportunity to view your own life as though it's like a television show, and that it's very entertaining. And every moment, whatever's going to happen in the next moment, it's like, well, that's going to be interesting. I know it's going to be interesting. I kind of hope that it's going to be pleasant, but I know that, odds are eventually I get the unpleasant too, and that's all right. It adds flavor to the mix, and yeah, and it's you got to have a villain to have a good guy, right? So sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, it goes. Whatever happens in life, it's entertaining. Everybody that shows up in front of me, well, they're putting on a good show. They're playing a role, just like I play a role. So I have a daughter, and I have two grandchildren. And I met my daughter when she was 13. So I didn't know her as a baby. But I read a bunch of children's how to raise children and 13-year-olds and stuff before I went out and met her, and so I had a clue what was going on. Not to mention, working with children all the time. I understand kids pretty well. And when I met her, I knew that I was going to be playing the role of dad. Now, this wasn't my little girl. I didn't know her from Adam. Never met her before. As soon as I met her, I kind of had this affinity to her, but I find that the thing that really made her my daughter was access. She looked to me as a father figure and asked me questions and took some direction from me, and that was a great honor. I was very pleased that she did that. A lot of what I said didn't quite sink in, but that's all right. Maybe it did sink in, and she just chose a different way. It's her life. She can do what she wants with it. And I'm also playing the role of grandfather to my grandkids. Now, I recognize that I'm just this strange guy who shows up every now and then. And mom likes me, calls me dad. And so they're taught that, this guy's nice and he loves you, and, he's going to be an all right guy to hang out with, and stuff like that. And you feel free to cuddle and whatever, you can run up and jump on him and give him a hug and play with him, tickle him, or whatever. And yeah, sign me up, man. I get these two kids that, I've never had this experience before, where I have these two kids so that I have access to. And I love it. And I know that I am playing a role because I remember my grandparents. Now, I don't know if they understood the concept of they were playing the role of grandparents. But I'm also an actor. I'm an entertainer. I understand roles. So anytime I'm around my grandkids, I am literally playing the role of cool grandpa. I know exactly what I'm doing each and every moment. And the reason why is because I want to leave them with such a good memory of their grandpa that some of the little bits of wisdom that I give them, the hard-earned bits of wisdom that they won't get for another 20 years or something, they won't understand it. But because grandpa said it and believed it, that'll add some weight. And that will help them in their lives. And I know it will because I've lived it. You can do that too. Recognize that each and every person that you meet, you're an actor in their life. They're wandering their lives the same way you are, and they show up in your life, you show up in their life for a few minutes, and that's it. That's all you know about each other. You can think any darn thing you want, but the truth is what you know about each other is there it is, a few minutes. They're playing a role. You're playing a role. You may be conscious of it or not. If you're conscious of it, you can play the role to the hilt. If you want to play the role of good friend, by God, be a good friend, because why not? You're playing the role. Why play a role half-assed? Makes no sense. So those people in your life, what role are you consciously playing? What roles are you subconsciously playing in the lives of the people that you interact with? Girlfriend, boyfriend, what is that? What's that role? I mean, you are you, right? You're not girlfriend or boyfriend. You are you. And you're playing a role of in the life of this other person. You're playing that role of boyfriend, girlfriend. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to them? Ever discuss that? If you discuss it, you can find out, I think the girlfriend should be this and the boyfriend should be that. And okay, well, we can work with that. Pardon me if I make a few mistakes along the way, but I'll get there eventually. Now, that's my intention. I'm going to see if I can adhere to that to some degree. We'll negotiate. Or not. If not, well, anyway. So whatever role you're playing with people, well, play it to the hilt. Why not? You're only here once. You're only going to be you just this one time, as far as I know. Might as well be the best you can think of each and every moment. People respond to that. They really, really do. I bet if you were to take a challenge, one of those internet challenges, that for the next 48 hours, as much as you could possibly imagine, look at everybody else as being just a wonderful guest in front of your eyes. If they're mad, well, sometimes you get mad too. Oh well. That's not who they are. They'll be unmad here shortly. Give them a minute. It's just what's happening for them right now. Kids throw tantrums. Oh well, it's what they do. And just everybody who comes through, be grateful. 48 hours. See if you can help make somebody's day. Give it a shot. God knows the world needs that kind of stuff right now. Okay? Hope you get a good balloon.